I wanted to tell you guys about a mass that I've been going to. It's a couple towns over, and I go to it maybe once or twice a week during the week. And I love it because it's half in English and half in Latin. It's a super reverent mass, and I just love it. I feel like I'm able to enter in. I feel like I'm able to pray. I feel like I'm able to worship and actually contemplate God's presence. The priest himself, he faces the tabernacle. He faces Jesus with us. We all face Jesus. And he says the Mass, mostly in English, but all the responses and ordinaries and such are in Latin. Sometimes they're chanted, and it's a beautiful Mass. You actually feel like your soul is being lifted up to God. Even when the priest turns around to look at the congregation, he actually looks at the floor. He doesn't look at you. He looks at the floor because he knows that this isn't a conversation. It's a prayer. The Mass from beginning to end is a prayer, and he's praying the Mass. He's concentrating on God, and he's offering and lifting up the Mass to God. And it's so well done. I just love the Latin chants that he does. It actually feels like your soul's being lifted to heaven. Even when you go up to communion, you kneel on kneelers. And most people kneel and they receive it on the tongue, and everything from beginning to end is reverent. I can't stress that enough. And it's the way it should be. This is how Mass should be. There are so many radical traditionalists out there condemning Vatican II. Vatican II is evil. Don't follow Vatican II. The reason I bring it up is because people slam, oh, look at that clown Mass. Look at that rock music Mass. Look at what Vatican II did. Vatican II. That is not Vatican II. The Mass that I go to, that is what Vatican II is supposed to be like. Vatican II is supposed to have English and Latin in it according to the council. The primary instrument is supposed to be the organ, and there are many other things that Vatican II has said to do that everyone pretty much ignored and did their own thing and basically brought the Mass off the cliff. We want to reform the Mass. I love the Latin Mass too. My wife used to sing in a chant schola, and the priest who married me is in the FSSP, and he does the Latin Mass perpetually. So I love the Latin Mass too, but I'm also not against the English Mass. And when it's done right and it's done reverently, it's beautiful. And this is the way it's supposed to be. This is what Vatican II wanted, a reverent Mass from beginning to end. And I just wanted to share that with you, because if you go to the church, it's beautiful. It lifts your mind up to God. And that's what the Mass is supposed to do. It's supposed to lift you up. It's supposed to help you to contemplate God. It's supposed to transform you and help you contemplate heavenly things. And that way we can meditate on the Eucharist, receive Jesus, receive the graces of the Eucharist, and be disposed to them. We don't just get all this grace from the Eucharist. We have to be prepared. We have to be disposed. And the Mass, praying the Mass, helps us to do that. So I just wanted to share my experience. I love the Mass. I love how nobody talks before the Mass. Nobody talks after Mass. There's silence. There's reverence. You know the presence of God is there, and that's how it should be. Rather than throwing away Vatican II and trying to flush it down the toilet like all these radicals are trying to do, why don't we do what Vatican II set out to do in the first place? Let's reform the Mass. Let's make it more beautiful. Let's make it more reverent. Let's make it so it transcends like it's supposed to. And in doing that, we will bring people to God. So thanks for listening to me today. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you like this, make sure to give it a like. Please share it. And please consider supporting our ministry. God bless you.